right, so this weekend, everyone's going to be glued to the telly for the FA Cup.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be Coventry City taking on IPSWICH Town.
Big match.
And, on the surface, you might think Premier League team Ipswich has this one in the bag, but
Yeah.
we've taken a deep dive here at theirrealfl.co.uk.
Absolutely.
And we're actually predicting Coventry to win.
It is a fascinating one, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So let's break down why we think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
First off, Coventry's recent form has been pretty impressive.
Oh, they've been on fire, haven't they? They've only lost one game in their last 5.
Just the one. And when you look at those wins, they're not against slouches.
No.
Bristol City, Watford, Blackburn, Swansea.
Yeah, you can see the confidence building, can't you?
Oh, absolutely. And, it's not just about scoring a ton of goals.
Yeah.
Their defense has been looking really, really good.
Absolutely. Someone like Kyle McFadzean at the back, he's organizing that defense. He's been like a brick wall.
That's what you need, right?
And then you contrast that with Ipswich, who are actually on a bit of a cold streak. 4 losses on the bounce.
Wow.
Yeah, their last win all the way back in January. And it was against a lower league team as well, Bristol Rovers.
So you've got one team surging, the other one's kind of slumping.
Yeah, a real contrast in momentum, yeah.
Huge difference in momentum. So let's talk about where this game is being played, because home field advantage can really matter.
Yeah, for sure.
Coventry are known for being tough to beat at home.
Oh, yeah. Their record at home is phenomenal. 25 goals they've scored in 14 championship home matches.
Right. It's a lot.
That's more than 1.5 a game.
Yeah. And you think about the atmosphere at their ground.
Yeah.
It must give them a real edge.
The fans are right on top of you.
And then for Ipswich, you've got the problem of their away form.
It's a bit of a worry, isn't it?
It is. 23 goals conceded in just 11 away games.
That's an average of what, like 2 goals a game against them?
Oof.
Not good, is it?
It's not a good look if you're an Ipswich fan. So right from the get-go, it feels like Coventry has a bit of an advantage here.
They do, especially with that home crowd behind them.
But it makes you wonder, what is it specifically about Ipswich's away form that's causing them to struggle so much?
I think if you dig a little deeper, you see a bit of a pattern.
Okay.
At home, they're known for their high press, really effective.
Right.
But on the road, it seems to fall apart a bit.
Interesting.
And that gives the other team space, to counterattack.
Okay.
And that's where a lot of those goals are coming from.
So they're leaving themselves exposed at the back.
Basically, yeah. And good teams will punish you for that.
Yeah. And Coventry, as we said, they're a good team right now.
Absolutely.
So that could be a real problem for Ipswich.
I think it will be, yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about form, we've talked about home field advantage.
Right.
But at the end of the day, football comes down to the players.
Yeah, the lads on the pitch.
So who should we be keeping an eye on in this match?
Well, for Coventry, Brandon Thomas-Asante is the man of the moment.
Yeah, he's really stepped up, especially with Haji Wright being out injured.
He has, hasn't he? He's taken on that responsibility.
Yeah, and he's scoring goals. Was it 3 in his last 5?
Yeah, something like that. But it's not even just the goals, it's his movement.
Oh, you mean off the ball?
Exactly. He's always finding those pockets of space, pulling defenders out of position.
Creating havoc?
Exactly. Chances for himself and his teammates. It's no wonder he's been thriving even with Wright out.
Right, so he's the one to watch for Coventry. What about Ipswich?
Well, Liam Delap leads the line for them, 9 goals this season.
He's dangerous.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. But he's going to be a bit isolated up front, I think.
Why is that?
Well, they've got a bit of an injury crisis on their hands. Ugbine, Chaplin, Maddox, Burns, they're all out.
Wow, that's a lot of attacking players.
Massive losses, especially going forward.
Yeah, it's hard to see where the goals are going to come from if Delap's left to do it all himself.
And that's where that head-to-head history gets interesting.
You mean the fact that it's actually pretty even between these two teams?
Yeah, over the last 10 matches, it's 4 wins for Ipswich, 3 for Coventry. Pretty close.
Yeah.
But you got to remember last season, when Ipswich won both matches against Coventry, they had a fully fit squad.
Right, so this time it's a different story.
Completely different.
It's easy to get caught up in Coventry's recent form, but experience can be a big factor in a cup game.
Oh, absolutely.
Ipswich, they've been playing against top Premier League teams all season.
Week in, week out.
Surely that's got to count for something, right?
Yeah, it does. You can't discount that completely. They might be missing a few key players, but they still have a core of experienced pros in that squad.
Guys who know how to get a result.
Exactly. They won't panic.
And let's not forget that FA Cup meeting back in 2019.
Oh, yeah.
Coventry won it, but they needed a replay after a draw in the first match.
Yeah, it wasn't easy for them.
So these games have a history of being tight affairs.
They do, yeah.
So you're saying there's still a chance for Ipswich to maybe pull off an upset here?
It's the FA Cup. Anything can happen, right?
Exactly. Famous for its upsets.
Absolutely. Ipswich, they'll be desperate to turn things around.
Right, they need a win.
This match could be the perfect opportunity to get back on track.
But when you look at everything we've talked about,
Yeah.
Coventry's momentum, home advantage, Ipswich is missing players,
Yeah.
it's hard not to see Coventry as the favorites.
Yeah. On paper, they do look strong.
And what's interesting is even the bookies seem to agree with us.
Really?
Yeah, they've actually got Coventry as slight favorites to win this match.
That is surprising considering the difference in league positions.
It is, but I guess it just shows that they're recognizing Coventry's form and Ipswich's struggles.
Yeah, they're not just looking at the names on the team sheet.
So if you're looking for a value bet this weekend,
Yeah,
Coventry City might be worth a punt.
could be a good shout.
But of course, as with any prediction,
Yeah.
there's always that element of risk.
It's football. Anything can happen.
Exactly. We're not saying it's a guaranteed win for Coventry.
No.
But based on all the evidence we've looked at,
Yeah,
we think they have the best chance of going through to the next round.
I agree.
All right, so we've talked a lot about the tactical side of things.
Right.
But let's bring it back to the listener for a second.
Yeah.
Why should anyone watching at home actually care about this Coventry versus Ipswich match?
Well, first off, it's the FA Cup.
Come on.
It's the biggest cup competition in the world.
Magic of the Cup.
And it's all about these David and Goliath clashes.
The underdog stories.
Exactly. And this one is shaping up to be a real thriller.
Even if you're not a Coventry or Ipswich fan,
Yeah.
there's that chance of an upset.
The drama, the
Yeah.
tension.
And that's what makes the FA Cup so special.
Absolutely. Form and reputation can go out the window.
Anything can happen.
Exactly.
Plus, if you're a betting person,
Right.
as we said earlier, Coventry at those odds could be tempting.
Definitely worth considering.
But beyond the immediate result, this match also tells us a lot about where these two clubs are at.
Yeah. It's a bit of a crossroads for both of them.
For Coventry, a win would be huge.
Yeah. A real statement of intent.
It would solidify their promotion push
Absolutely.
and show that they can compete with the best.
Yeah, they wouldn't be afraid of anyone.
And then for Ipswich, a loss to a lower league team that could raise some serious questions about their ability to stay up.
Yeah, the pressure would be on.
So there's a lot at stake in this match.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And as always, we encourage you to go beyond just this deep dive.
Absolutely.
Head over to therealll.co.uk.
We've got a full breakdown of the match there.
Everything you need to know.
Stats, predicted lineups, even where you can watch the game.
It's all there.
So check it out.
Yeah, it really feels like there were so many storylines swirling around this one.
Yeah, it's not just about the result, is it?
It's more than just who wins and loses.
Right, like what does it mean for both of these clubs going forward?
Coventry on this amazing run. Can they keep it going? Ipswich trying to find their form again. I mean,
Yeah, it's almost like a perfect example of what the FA Cup is all about, isn't it?
that underdog battling against the odds.
The big team trying to rediscover their magic.
Yeah, and that's why I think everyone's so drawn to this match.
It's those stories, those emotions. That's what we love about the FA Cup.
And that possibility that anything can happen.
You think back to some of those classic FA Cup upsets, moments that will live forever.
This match could be one of those moments.
It really could.
You can just feel it, the anticipation, the tension, the
It's
whole...
electric.
Yeah, and for anyone out there who wants to get even more insight into this match,
Yeah, definitely check out therealfl.co.uk.
we've got a fantastic article up there dedicated to this Coventry versus Ipswich clash,
Everything you need, in-depth analysis, predicted lineups.
even where you can watch the game.
We've really dug deep into this one.
So one last time,
Yeah.
will Coventry pull off the upset?
Or will Ipswich's Premier League experience see them through?
We can't wait to find out.
It's going to be a cracker.
Thanks for joining us for this FA Cup deep dive. And as always, be sure to head over to therealfl.co.uk for all the latest insights and analysis.
We'll see you next time. Enjoy the magic of the FA Cup.